This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another of our guest expert seminars. And today's expert is Micheal O'Brien, the great Irish international and Irish seniors bridge player who's renowned, not just here, but especially in Europe as well. And of course, Thomas McCormack, our Grandmaster, resident Grandmaster, who is going to work with Micheal on the hands you're going to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to just show you some hands that Thomas has prepared for Micheal. And Thomas has put all sorts of little horrible things into it. And he's going to see if Micheal can think his way through them. And it'd be an interesting way for all of you guys to look and see what Micheal is deciding to do. Now, you can ask questions at any stage. This is a very informal seminar. We like to keep them friendly and easy to follow. So you can ask questions before, during, or after. So I hope you'll enjoy Micheal. I'm going to share my screen with you now, and we'll get on with the business, okay? Good to see you all, by the way. Now, I hope you can only see one hand. And Micheal and Thomas, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Rory. We got started on hand number one, and I'm the dealer with South. I've 9 points.
Sorry, Rory, can I just ask a question? Will we get notes from this, or do we have to take these down?
No, we'll give you a copy of the hands, and we'll give you some notes on some of the topics that we throw out at you as well. Is that all right?
Yes, wonderful.
And also, this will be put up on YouTube afterwards as well.
Okay, read up on 2 trumps, 2 diamonds, 2 whites.
Okay. So as I was saying, my hand, I have 9 points in spades, 6 in hearts is 15, 5 in diamonds is 20, and 2 in clubs. So I have 22 points on a flat hand, which in most systems is a 2-no trump opening. I'm assuming we're playing 20-22 no trump. So I open 2-no trump.
That's 20 to 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't see my hand. All right. Yeah. But what are the rules about bidding slams? What do we need to bid slams as responder?
Yeah, well, kind of, I'd have vaudeville as Thomas. In no trump, you need roughly 33 points to have a slam odds on. If you've got a long suit or a few extra tens, they may count as an extra point. If you've got 31, 32 points, it's borderline whether you should be in the slam. And if you've got less than 31, you probably almost certainly shouldn't be in the slam unless you've got extra distribution values.
Does that make sense to everybody?
My hand is 4-3-3, which certainly doesn't have extra distribution points.
Okay, and what about a grand slam, Micheal?
I never get good enough cards for bidding grand slams, but you'd probably need about 36 or 37 for a grand slam.
Okay.
Obviously, if there's 36, you shouldn't be missing an ace.
Exactly. So when you're bidding slams, the first rule about bidding slams is if you think you can make a slam, what do? We bid it. If you have 33 points, as Micheal said, you should have a statistical chance of making a small slam. Therefore, if you have a balanced hand with no shape, you should be in 6-no trump. And if you have 37 points with a balanced hand and no shape, where should we be?
7-no trump.
Oh. Would you go straight to that?
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd 5 points and your partner opened 2-no trump, what would you do?
3-no trump.
Without any hesitation, wouldn't you? You wouldn't even have to think about it, would you? But whenever we give out these hands, whenever I use these hands, people always are reluctant to jump to a small slam or to jump to a grand slam. If you have enough to make a slam, what should we do? Not be afraid to. That's the first rule about slam bidding is bid slam if you think you can make it. You don't need to ask for aces or kings or anything like that if you believe you have enough for slam and you think you can make it. Okay? Now, of course, Micheal has to make it.
Yeah, Thomas just puts me into it. Anyway, we've got the spade lead. It's just a point as we start. It's normal when you're playing in a no trump contract, the declarer counts their winners. When you're playing a suit contract, it's more normal for a declarer to count their losers. Don't know, are you followers of that rule of thumb? But I certainly. So I've got 3 spade tricks. I got 3 heart tricks is 6. Now 3 club tricks is 9, and hopefully I have 4 diamond tricks is 13. But I'm not guaranteed 4 diamond tricks. There's a risk of jack to 4 diamonds in either west hand or east hand, where it might prove to be a bit of an obstacle. The trouble is I don't know if there's long diamonds on either side of me, and so I don't know how to play the diamond suit in the top. But what can very often work when you have a choice like that is you cash your outside tricks and see if the opponents don't follow suit. You learn what the full distribution of the hand is, so you can postpone playing the diamonds until after you've cashed tricks in the other suits. Does that make sense to people?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to win the first trick, and I'm going to cash my winners and postpone doing anything on the diamond suit until later. So I'm just cashing out my 9 tricks in the other suits. Now, East has only got 2 spades, so he's more likely to have 4 diamonds than West. But we won't panic and just figure out yet what to do.
We're down to.
So when we play the 3rd round of spades, one person showed out, therefore giving us the complete distribution of the spade suit. West has 5 spades and East has 2.
Oh, so West has only got 2 hearts. So we know that West has 5 spades and 2 hearts, and we know that East has 5 hearts and 2 spades. So they've both shown up at 7 cards. Oh, and West has only got 2 clubs. And East has therefore got 5 clubs. So what do we know about the hands now? We know that East has 5 clubs, 2 spades and 5 hearts.
So he's only got
Not
2
right.
diamonds left.
West is the extra diamond.
Count that again now. Whoever said 2 diamonds left, count that again.
One diamond.
8, 1.
Yeah, 5. What did Micheal say?
2 spades, 5 hearts and 5 clubs.
Therefore,
Yeah, 1
So
diamond.
One diamond.
one diamond. So if anyone has got the East is more likely to have 4 diamonds to the jack than West. In fact, unless they have a singleton jack. To follow to that now, we've now gone and we know that East has started with 4 diamonds. They followed to the first round of diamonds, so there are 3 cards left are diamonds. So when you know that 3 cards left are diamonds, and West cards, none of them are diamonds. So if that's the case, we play 1 to the. Sorry, I'm talking. It's the other way around.
yeah, you just mixed up East and West, Micheal.
Yeah.
So if we show all 52 cards and claim for a second, please, Jason. If you claim, Micheal.
Oh yeah, I'll claim, yeah.
You know how to claim Micheal on BBO?
I do, it's not.
It's the blue button on the screen. It should be there in front of you, above
I
the
don't see
undo.
one.
Well, just finish it out. Just play your ace then. And
Oh, sorry,
be as quick.
I just.
There we go. Okay, now can you all see all the cards?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so we can see on this hand. Don't know, something happened there, Jason. My screen's gone mad. We can see on this hand that East had the singleton diamond and 5 spades and 5 clubs. Now, just to show you out, we're going to redeal the hand. We're going to open 7 no trump from Micheal, and we've moved the cards around, and we're going to recount it out so that if the other person had it, what would we be able to do? Do it the other way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so just open 7 no trump for us, Micheal.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be doing the same thing coming down to the 3 card end, and hopefully we'll have sufficient information to know who's got the long diamonds.
Now on BBO, you're allowed to use paper to help you. You're allowed to use tools to write things down, not in real life.
Well, unfortunately, in real life, they expect you to remember. So we've got West with 5 hearts.
Right.
You only need to count one of the hands, because the other one will be the balance. And West has got
2 spades.
two spades and 5 hearts is 7. So that's West, which we've seen 7 cards. Which hand are we in? We're in this one.
So 6.
And we see that East has only got 2 clubs, so West has 5 clubs. So West is 5 plus 5 plus 2. West is shown up with 12 cards, so they'll have 1 diamond. So when that's the case, we know we play the 1 diamond now. So we all know all 13 cards in the West hand. So East has got the remaining diamonds, Jack and 2 others. So that's the case, really, the small one, the ace.
So we can see that even though we moved the cards around, by counting out the other suits other than the diamonds, we eventually got the position of the
Diamond.
The Jack of diamonds.
Now, what sort of play is that called, anybody?
Discovery.
Discovery, absolutely correct, Michael. Yeah, you're playing all of the other suits to discover the distribution of those suits, so that you can then count out the distribution of the diamond suit. And when we moved the cards around, Micheal nailed both positions, didn't he? He just counted out the spades, counted out the hearts, counted out the clubs, and then he was in a position to tackle the diamonds, even though the diamond suit was breaking 4-1. Okay, everybody happy?
Yes.
Yes.
Suppose East West. I forgot that. Suppose East West all followed to 3 rounds of spades, hearts, and clubs.
Then you wouldn't have a clue, would you?
Then you have
You'd
to go back and make a guess.
You'd be guessing.
You would be, yeah. But I mean,
We're trying.
But then you don't. Then there's nothing. Then you're back to the same position you were in at the start of the hand. But
Exactly. You've nothing to lose.
There's nothing you can do, though, is there?
Oh no, I agree.
But if somebody shows out,
it's worth trying.
Then you get the count of that suit, and that might be in a position. If you knew that West had 5 spades and East had 2, and you knew that East had 3 hearts and you knew West had 3 hearts, and you knew East had 3 hearts and East had 3 clubs, well then you'd know what way the diamonds were breaking, wouldn't you? So if nobody shows out on any particular suit, you're going to have to guess well. But if somebody shows out on a suit, that might give you the clue to be able to work out what to do. All right. It doesn't always work out, by the way. Discovery plays don't always work out that you discover what you need. But if you don't play it this way, what's going to happen? You're going to guess the diamonds, and if you misguess the diamonds, you're going to go
Down.
Down.
Yeah.
down. Okay, all happy?
Yes.
Yep.
Any questions?
Yes, and sorry, looking at the diamonds, we'll say when we knew there was one with West, there's a special way of playing them.
When you know there's one with West, what did Micheal start off by playing there?
King.
Which gathered the only one there was from West, didn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Micheal led the small one, what did West do?
He showed that he didn't have any more.
So now we know that we
Know where the
counted.
jack is.
Now we know we counted correctly, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
important. It's important to catch the king rather than the ace.
Yes.
Why?
Because you find out the
Yeah.
distribution. You've got the double honor in what hand?
The east
South.
hand. Yeah.
In the south
Yeah.
hand. So whenever you've got a double
yeah.
honor opposite a single honor, you can always
Cash
start
the
off by
king
cashing
first.
the
Yeah.
king first.
King
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that's- okay.
Yeah, you cash the king first, and when they follow, you know that they followed with the only one that they
So take it over here.
because it must be. And then when you lead the small one, when West shows out, that confirms that we're able to count. To count, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that we counted correctly.
And
Okay,
is that a good idea to, as you said, to lead from the double honor?
oh, nearly always.
Okay.
Nearly always.
Okay, okay.
There are a
And
few
to- and-
exceptions to that
And to
rule,
lead
but-
the honor, should we say? Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
if you've got a hand with two honors and a hand with one honor, it's nearly always better to start off by leading the hand with the from the two honors first. Okay, so in this case, where's the two honors?
So, yeah.
South.
So you start off by playing one of your honors from the
One of
south
the
hand.
honors. Okay.
As a general rule, now there are exceptions.
I know.
So
Yeah.
I don't want you to just blindly say Thomas and Micheal taught us this. We're going to just blindly follow it. There are exceptions to that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on to the second board, please. All happy with that?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Micheal. Superb.
That's all. Okay, well, board 2, I'm still the dealer. Let's see, I have 5 points in spades, 4 in hearts, 9, 6 in diamonds is 15,
22
and
again.
7 in clubs. So it does have 22 points if I'm adding those up correctly.
That's
So I'm
right.
opening 2-0 trump.
20 to 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've got 3 clubs Stayman, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Asking, do I have a 4-card major? I have 4 hearts. A bit 3 hearts. My partner bids 4-0 trump, which I assume is Blackwood. So I've got Blackwood with key card Blackwood with hearts as trumps. So I've got many key cards. I've got 4 races. So 41-30, that would be 5 clubs, showing 1 or 4.
And if you're playing Roman key card Blackwood, one of the benefits of Roman key card Blackwood is that there are 5 key cards. The king of trumps becomes the 5th key card. But also, when your partner shows a specific number of key cards, I'm able to ask about the trump queen in case I want to investigate a grand slam. And how I do that is I bid the next suit up after my partner shows how many key cards they have. If they have the trump queen, they'll either go to a slam or show me something else on the way. And if they don't have the trump queen, they'll go back to 5 of the trump suit.
Trumps.
So he's asking me, do I have the Queen of Hearts? I don't see any Queen of Hearts in my hand, so I bid 5 hearts.
And when Micheal says he doesn't have the queen of hearts, I'm not interested in a grand slam. Therefore, I only bid a
Small.
small slam. I don't like being in a grand slam missing the queen of trumps.
Okay, so we're in 6 hearts. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a finessing position in spades. We've got the trumps missing the queen of trumps, and the minor suits, we've got the 3 top tricks on. So how might things work out playing on hearts? I'll make 3 clubs and 3 diamonds is 6. And if the heart finesse is right and the break 3-2, I'd make 4 heart tricks is 10. and maybe an 11th one from roughing it on the dummy,
Mm.
by roughing 4th club on the table, and then have a spade position. So there's effectively two hands in this. There's the two suits. There's the spade suit where there's a finesse, and there's a heart suit, the trumps, where there's a finesse as well. But
so do you have to draw the trumps before you try
Well,
to spade?
well, you normally draw trumps before you do other things, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you want to do something else first of all, and this hand is the case in point. The way you play the trump suit may vary depending upon whether the spade finesse is right or wrong. So it may make sense to finesse the spade before playing the trumps. There is a small risk by playing on spades that the opponents may buff a spade, but they're very unlikely to buff the first round of spades or even the second round of spades.
Okay.
So I want to know whether we have a spade loser, because if I've got a spade, if I don't have a spade loser, I'm happy to lose a heart check. But if I do have a spade loser, I can't afford to lose a heart check. So
now just listen to that for a second, everybody. Okay, that is the nub of this hand in a nutshell. Micheal said that if he loses a spade, okay, then he's going to, the hand has to be played differently. Because if he loses a spade, what can he not afford to lose?
Lose a heart.
But if he doesn't lose a spade, what can he afford to lose?
Well,
He can afford to lose the heart then.
One heart, can't he? So he doesn't know what way to play the trump suit until when?
He knows whether the heart, the spades
are not.
Isn't that interesting now? Brilliantly done, Micheal. Away you go.
Well, hopefully the patient won't die in the process.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Don't know why I wanted in that hand, but anyway, I did.
Did you want to undo it?
I think I'm okay still. I want to finesse the spade, so I need to get to the table. We'll finesse the spade. No, the spade finesse is right.
So now you're all right.
I'm all right. The only risk here now, if the trumps are G2, I can afford to lose one check and I'd make the rest. The only time there's a risk here is if the trumps are 4-1. Trumps are 4-1, I could easily lose 2 trump checks. There is, with this holding, there's a holding that improves the chances of only losing 1 trump check. The hand you're watching out for is if the opponents have Queen 10 and 2 little hearts. If that hand is the, say, sitting west, and you play the ace of hearts followed by a heart towards the king with west showing out, you will lose 2 heart checks. While if you play a heart to the king and a heart back towards the ace-9 and put the 9 in if the person plays low, you will not lose 2 heart checks, because even if they split their 10, the 9 grows up. So we play the first round of hearts. Okay, so.
And I think most people would be finessing in hearts, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Yeah,
most people would finesse in hearts. They'd finesse the jack of hearts, wouldn't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we would.
That's what I would do.
Of course you would, but you see, because the spade finesse is correct, you can now cater in case there's a bad break in what suit.
Hearts.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
So you don't have to finesse.
Now I'm going to play the 9 here. The reason I'm playing the 9 is in case East has got the Queen and the 10. If the 9 loses to the 10 or the Queen in the west hand, it doesn't matter. You've only lost 1 check in the suit, and you will make the rest of the tricks because you'll be able to ruff a club on the table. So that you're not worried about giving up the chances of an over check. You're just worried about trying to make the contract.
And because the trump suit broke 4-1 and he made the safety play, the contract is now
It's called, you
Secure.
lose one chip.
Yeah.
makeable, isn't
I'm
it?
able to up the club on the table. The opponents can take their heart check whenever they want it.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what would happen if the hearts were the other way around?
Well, West would win the 10 hearts.
No,
like
they
that.
wouldn't. They wouldn't. If
No,
East
well,
showed out,
East would show out.
Oh.
you could rise up with the ace of hearts, couldn't you?
Oh, yes.
First,
And now you can lead the heart back to
Jack 7.
the dummy hand. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what way the suit is divided, you have the ability to pick up queen to 4 in either hand, regardless of what way the suit is done. But you can only know to do that if what? What did Micheal do before he touched trumps?
He got
Tried
spades.
the spade.
Spades. He got
Yeah. Now we'll ask Micheal what he would do if the spade finesse lost. If the spade finesse lost, Micheal, what way would you play the heart suit?
Well, I've to play the hearts in the traditional suit, the traditional way of playing the ace, and then one towards the king jack. And
Hoping
if
that the
you follow
finesse
low, you
is-
put the jack in.
Yeah. So if the spade finesse, show all 52 cards, please, Jason, and if you could claim Micheal. You have to give them a heart, but I like your style.
I'd have to ask first, though. I'd have to ask first.
They might be calling the tournament director now, mightn't they? Say, director, I didn't get my trick.
It's good by finding out where the queen is.
Yeah, claim, and then they go, no, you're not getting it. Okay, he has the queen.
I'll finesse against you.
Okay, so we have a look at this hand and we see that if the spade finesse is correct, you then can cope with a bad break in either hand, 4-1 on your left or on your right. But if the spade finesse is wrong, you then have to fall back on picking up the hearts if they're 3-2, because you won't be able to pick up a 4-1 break. But when I give this hand out, what do most people play at trick 1? They win the diamond lead and they play the
hearts.
ace of hearts followed by a
King.
Heart to the king jack.
ball heart, and then they get a pain in the pit of their tummy. They wriggle and they wrangle and they move around and they roll their eyes up to heaven and look down to hell, and they eventually go
Down.
And that's because they didn't work out what they needed in 2 suits. And as Micheal quite correctly said, if the spades are good, you play hearts differently. If the spades are bad, you play hearts differently, thereby coping with what happens based on the overall reaching of the hand. Yeah, the overall thinking in the hand. Is everybody happy with that hand?
Yes.
Now you got to remember that the protocol and the manners is that if you're in the east side with the queen 10 8-2 and they do happen to finesse the jack, when they're finished, you have to say, gosh, you were very unlucky with the heartbreak, and then smile. That's the great part of bridge, when you can say something like that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
one
Thomas.
other point with this, and that's there's a mistake we all make from time to time, and that's when the opening lead is made, you sit and you think what can go wrong, and you make your plan of campaign at trick 1. So you figure out that you want to finesse the spade before playing trumps. We've all been in the position where we've cashed the ace and played one towards the king jack, and then say, ah, fuck, I didn't give it this enough thought. The time to give it thought is before you play trick 1.
So Thomas, a quick question. What's the response to Roman keycard Blackwood in the unlikely event that you have all 5 key cards?
Well, people can bid. I think they bid 5 no trump. Some people bid it 5 no trump to show all the key cards. I think there's different ways you can do it, isn't there, Micheal?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
there's not one standard way with which you can do it. There's a couple of different ways with which you can show all the key cards. Now, it's an interesting question as to why somebody should be asking key card without a key card in their hand, isn't it, Michael?
Exactly.
But
I
there
would
are
keep-
times it
I
can
would keep
happen.
five no trump to mean 2 key cards and a useful void. Some people use that.
Yeah, but if you
Right.
do that, Rory, then there's another way with which you can show. You have to have a way to be able to show all the key cards as well as
Yeah.
showing voids. Do you
Oh,
understand?
you're right. Okay.
Well, the bit of 5 hearts can be 2 or 5.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, exactly. If you're playing 5 no trump to show a certain number with the void, then 5 hearts becomes, or if you don't play 5 no trump, then you can use 5 no trump as well. It's in the same way, responding to key card can be different, can't it? Some people play 14-30 and some people play 30-41, right? So there's a myriad of different ways you can do it. All right.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Okay, on to number 3, please.
Okay, so this hand looks familiar.
Number 3, please.
Number 2. Number 3, so North to dealer.
Now, we're going to bid this hand 2 different ways. We're going to bid it as if you're playing a strong no trump, first of all, and then we're going to bid it as if we're playing a weak no trump, okay? Just to show you that regardless of whether you play strong or weak no trump, eventually you should get to the same position in the auction, all right?
Weak no trump.
Strong this time.
Oh, strong is it? 15, 17. And I've got a 15 count. Well, I'll first of all show my spades by transferring into spades. Partner does as they're told. And I'm just going to continue to show my hand by showing clubs along with the spades.
So now I know my partner has 5 spades, 4 clubs, and is game forcing. So I'm not in a rush to jump to game if I don't want to. I could bid 4 spades. And if you're playing the principle of fast arrival, that would show a minimum hand. But for the moment, we're just going to bid 3 spades. Again, just showing that I have a fit in.
Just a fit in spades. Okay, so he's got 3 spades, so we're happy to play in spades. So we'll try key card Blackwood. So 5 hearts shows 2 key cards and denies the queen of spades, but given that I have the queen of spades, I'm not surprised. So I have 2 key cards and partners 2 key cards, so we've 4 key cards. So we're just missing 1 ace, or maybe we're missing the king of spades. But I'm happy that we have enough values to bid a slam. So we bid 6 spades. Now, so West has to make the opening lead, or East has to make the opening
Now,
lead.
Micheal, what we're going to do is, okay, so we've seen the way we got the 6 spades when you're playing a strong no trump, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to redeal it now, and we're going to bid it playing a weak no trump, okay?
Yeah.
And then we get Micheal to play it. So if I'm playing a weak no trump, I'm not allowed to open 1 no trump because I have too many points.
Yeah, so you open the diamond. I bid my spades.
And now I'll rebid 1 no trump, showing that I 15 to 17 or 15 to 16, depending on what your system is.
So I'm going to force the game and bid my second suit, 3 clubs. See a partner raises either the clubs or the
So
spades.
can we see that when I opened 1 no trump, Micheal effectively has shown the exact same thing by jumping to 3 clubs in the second sequence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And now we're in the exact same position we were in a second ago, weren't we?
The only difference being that in one hand the long spades will be the declarer, and the other time they'll be the dummy. So, but I don't worry about that. I use the key card Blackwood as before. Shows two key cards, denies the Queen of Spades. I'm happy with 2 aces and the Queen of Spades. I bid 6 spades.
So it effectively became the exact same sequence, didn't it, everybody?
Yeah.
It didn't matter that we were playing strong no trump. We ended up in the same
The same contract, yeah.
contract. Okay, everybody happy?
Mm-hmm.
Now we just have to see if Micheal can make it.
Okay, where are we? Let's count the tricks that we have and the losers that we may have. The losers that we may have, the top heart of a singleton heart. So I have a heart loser, and I may have a club loser. Quite a good chance I would eventually, with the ace king and 2 little opposite 3 little. The ace and king would clear some of the opponents, but the third round of the suit I'd lose. So I'm going to have to do a bit of miracle to get rid of my club loser. And what the way I'd go about doing this is, you see whether there are possibilities of making tricks in suits, the red suits, in hearts and diamonds in particular. So what we've got to do is we've got to set up the king of hearts to throw away a club, and hopefully throw away a club on the long diamond as well. So if the diamonds are 3-3, there'll be a discard on the 4th diamond. And there's some other chances which we'll see how they work out as we go along.
So what are the odds of a 3-3 break, everybody?
32%.
Low odds, aren't they?
Mm.
Low odds. Which is more likely when you're missing 6 cards?
4-2.
4-2 is considerably more likely. Okay. So yeah, we need to remember that for later in the hand when Micheal comes back to us. All right.
Yeah. Well, we'll go and play a heart first of all. I mean, there's no particular reason why I need to play trumps this early. So the jack, hopefully the king will make a trick. That's good.
Lovely.
The ace of hearts was on the side. So.
Now we needed that, didn't we?
Mm.
Yeah, without that I was in deep trouble.
Without that, the odds of this contract making is very, very, very low.
Yeah.
If the ace doesn't come up, do you run the jack or do you go up the king?
I'd go the king because that's your only legitimate way to actually make it.
Thanks.
Otherwise you're playing for the opponents to have defended. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
The people are very unlikely to play low with the ace in that position. Okay, so now I still have this club loser, but I can throw away 1 club from my hand on the king of hearts, and hopefully I'll be able to throw away the other club on the long diamond. As Thomas tells me, the chances of this working out are not that great, but I'm an optimist.
That's true.
Now, it's so. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about how I should play this.
And if we're in the club, what should we do? Shouldn't we take the card out and start tapping it on the table? Shouldn't we? To say to Micheal, we're ready to play, Micheal. Come on, hurry up, shouldn't we?
Well, I'm a slow player at times. When I've got problems, I tend to be slow. And when I don't have a problem, I get on with it. You know, you're hoping the diamond suit breaks 3-3, and if the diamond suit doesn't break 3-3, the hand with 4 diamonds is got other cards that they have to hold, as well as the the 4 diamonds. Just pulling the trumps here. Okay, there's a club thrown away from the west. So I presume he's got the other club. What am I doing here? There's a squeeze here, but I'm
Rough or hard?
sorry, rough or hard. I cash the other heart now.
Cash that. Now, just wait there 1 second, okay? Jason,
No.
can you show all the cards, please?
Now the position is.
Can you see all the cards, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
So, South Micheal has played his winning.
Jack of spades.
Winning Jack of spades.
What's West going to throw away?
Squeeze.
The diamond.
The club. The 10 of club.
If they throw the 10 of clubs, what happens to the 5 of clubs?
Becomes a winner.
Winner.
So there's the 12th trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And if they throw the diamond, what happens?
The diamonds become the winners.
The ace
So
of
The
that
diamond
is-
becomes the winner.
So what is that?
Squeeze.
A squeeze, yeah. Squeeze, by the way, isn't the right word, right? It should probably be called a compression. The person West in this case, and by the way, it wouldn't matter if it was East, would it?
No.
It wouldn't matter if it was East. West, just throw a club for a diamond for a second. What does North throw away?
5 of club.
Go ahead. Now, if West had the club and the diamond, they'd be in the same position, wouldn't they? And there's no cost to this. I mean, if the diamond suit breaks 3-3, what happens?
Your ace is the winner.
It's always there anyway, isn't it? There's no. But what are people always afraid to do to make the squeeze operational?
Cash the last spade.
Cash the
Cash
last card,
the
isn't
last
it?
spade,
In this case,
yeah.
it's the last trump, isn't it? You can't squeeze West unless you play that last winner in your hand. And most people are afraid to play the last trump because what does it do? It means we have no more control in
Anything.
trumps. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, how do we know? What are the ingredients we need? Claim if you can, please, Micheal. What are the ingredients we need for a squeeze to be operational?
To know where the cards are, how they're broken.
Well, we didn't know where the cards were, did we? There.
No, but
You have to have all the tricks but one. You've
There,
just
that's
missing
the
one
most.
trick.
Yeah. Now, what's that called?
Is it rectifying the count?
Absolutely spot on, Michael. Yeah. In any contract. Okay, so you have to rectify the count. That means lose as many tricks as you need to lose. If you're in 1-no trump and you want to squeeze the opposition, how many tricks do you have to lose?
6.
Yeah. That's quite hard to do to actually. That's why squeezes is more commonly spoken about slams, because rectifying the count is a lot easier to do in a small slam, isn't it? What else do we need to have for a squeeze to be operational?
One person guarding 2 suits.
Yeah, but what do you need to have to make that happen? You need to have a card threatening them, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So what are the threats that Micheal has?
a winning trick.
But no, they're not winners.
He has a potential winner in club and a
That's
potential
one
winner in
threat, isn't
diamond.
it?
Oh, yeah.
And that's the second threat. If Micheal didn't have a threat of a diamond winner, there wouldn't be a squeeze, would there?
Yeah.
No.
If Micheal didn't have a threat of a club winner, there wouldn't be a squeeze, would there?
Squeeze, no.
No.
Or if the threats were in the wrong hand, he might not be able to squeeze a person because they might be discarding afterwards. So
Yeah.
for a squeeze to be operational, you need to rectify the count. That means lose the number of tricks you can afford to lose. You generally need to be within one of your target. So how many winners did Micheal say he had at the start?
11.
No, he didn't.
And 10.
He said 10, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where did the 11th winner come from?
The squeeze.
Oh, the
No.
King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts
Ah,
became the 11th winner. And then where did the 12th one come from?
Squeeze.
The squeeze.
It needed a little bit of luck, didn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, Micheal said he was an optimistic person, didn't he? And the optimism sometimes pays off. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Now, squeeze is the most complicated card play technique you can have in bridge, but it's just about anything. It's like anything else. The more you do it and the more you learn it, the easier it becomes to spot. Yeah. And one thing you can do, if there's no other technique, if you can't set up a long suit, if you can't finesse, if you can't do roughs or things like that, the squeeze becomes the last hope, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing else left to hope for. What do you hope? That one person can't keep the required number of cards. Yeah, that's your last hope. Okay, but it is a very good technique to have, and we're going to focus on it now for the next little bit of the class. All right.
Yes.
Okay, on to number 4, please.
Okay.
This is brilliant, Micheal and Thomas. Thank you. It's great.
5 and 2, 7.
Okay, one spade has been passed out to me. And what do I bid? I've got 5 points in hearts, 6 in diamonds. That's 11, and 2 in clubs is 13. But I would generally, you're bidding much more constructively in 4th position. There's an assumption you'll have some values when the opponents are passed out in 1 spade. So I would bid 3 hearts in this hand because I don't play weak jump over calls in 4th position. I only play them in 2nd position because the purpose of weak jump over calls is to make life difficult for the opponents. So the opponents haven't any plans to be going anywhere on this board. So you play the bids as constructive then. So I bid 3 hearts, which shows at least 6 hearts in the decent hand.
Does everybody understand what Micheal said there?
Yes.
Yeah.
4th in hand bidding. When the bidding goes one of a suit, pass, pass, the rules aren't the same as if the bidding went 1 spade and you wish to bid. So what Micheal is saying is he's jumping to 3 hearts to show a 6-card heart suit and a proper real hand. Okay, full value opening bid with a 6-card heart suit. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, in 2nd seat, that's not what it would mean. 3 hearts would show 6 hearts and 6 to 10 points. But in 4th in hand, the rules for bidding 4th in hand aren't the same as the rules for bidding 2nd in hand. So I'm going to bid 3 spades, which is just saying, partner, I'm forcing, I have a good hand opposite. Can you tell me more about your hand?
Well, I've got a side suit of diamonds, which I'll tell him about. I don't know what he's planning to do, but I'm just bidding up my distribution.
As we're pushed for time and the director's breathing down our neck, and I know Micheal is such a fabulous player, I don't wheel out any system. What do I bid?
4 hearts.
4 hearts.
Oh, 6
That's it
hearts.
all. No, Micheal's a great player.
Wow.
It must have a good hand.
I must have a reasonable hand as well, mustn't I?
Okay, so we're in 6 hearts, and what have we got? We've a diamond loser, and there's a club loser there. The queen is useful, but it will only make a trick after the king makes a trick. If the king makes a trick, I'm a goner because I'll also lose the ace of diamonds. Yeah. Yeah, what can we do here?
Take the diamond.
We'll pass the time of day, but I want to get rid of the spades from the east hand.
Why, everybody?
He is it again?
Why is he getting rid of spades from east?
So as he won't have
Because you
an
want
exit.
the trumps.
I think the player might be trying to end play east.
Take that back, Micheal, sorry. And take back the other heart for me. Lead a diamond at this point. Sorry, undo again. Apologies. After you rough the spade, you have to lead a diamond. That's enough now, yeah? Lead a diamond for me.
Yeah, the risk is the hand ducking this diamond.
But they won't, because they're afraid. Now play another diamond, Jason.
Oh, sorry, I better play from that hand. Now win.
The roughing of the spade at trick 2 was so crucial because what did West open?
Spade.
So if they were playing 5-card majors and you knew they had 5 spades, it becomes very, very simple, right? But now what can we do? We can cross to the table and rough another
Spade.
So go ahead.
Need to be careful with the. I'm keeping the 5 of hearts as an entry here just in case I have a need for it.
Now trumps are 2-2, and when we rough the spade, what did East play?
Spade.
The jack.
So who has the last winning spades, do we think?
West.
So what is that 8 of spades doing? It's threatening West, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now what did West also bid? What did they do?
Well, they opened the bidding.
So what do they have if they open the bidding?
That
13 points.
Well, they've opening
points.
points. So we know they have the ace of
Diamond.
diamonds, and we know they have the king and queen of.
Spade.
Spades.
So what other card do they have?
King of club.
Look what happens as Micheal plays all of his winners.
There goes one of them. Now this hopefully will do the damage.
And now Jason, what did he just throw?
Queen of spade.
So what do we throw?
9 of club.
That's all club.
And had he thrown the club, what would we have thrown?
Spade.
Spades.
And we have them, don't we?
Mm.
Now, nobody said to me at the start of the hand that the spade could be a threat, did they? If you don't spot your threats, you're not going to know you have a
Winner.
squeeze, yeah. Okay, so again, if we look at the ingredients of this hand, how many winners did we have guaranteed?
So with 11.
11.
We'd 11 when we drove out the
Ace of diamonds.
the ace of diamonds. Okay, so 11 means, okay, how did we rectify the count? We gave them the
Spade.
ace
diamonds.
of
Diamonds.
diamonds. And what were the two threats we had?
The club and the
Club.
Ace
spade.
of spades and the
What
ace.
was the threat? What club was threatening our opposition?
The king.
The queen. The queen was
Queen,
threatening the
yeah.
king. You're right,
Oh,
yeah.
the king. Yeah.
And the eight of spades was
Spades,
threatening
the
the.
queen of
Queen of
spades.
spades.
And we should know that they have those cards because what did they do?
They opened the bidding.
Open the bidding.
Sure, it can't be that hard. When we've got 20x number of points and they've opened the bidding, they're more likely to have all of the cards, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
again,
Remember.
sometimes, well, I mean, it's about putting it into practice.
Yeah.
Squeezing isn't about remembering, although muscle memory does come into it. You saw straight away, Micheal, he won the ace of spades, and instinctively, what did he do straight away? Roughed that.
Roughed a spade.
Spade.
Nobody else was doing that, were they? We were all going to say we were going to draw trumps, weren't we?
Mhm.
But if he doesn't eliminate the east hand out of 3 spades, well, then there isn't a squeeze, is there?
No.
If east is able to keep the jack of spades, west is able to keep both of their clubs, aren't they?
Mhm.
So roughing the spade at trick 2 is kind of crucial to be able to do this in certain hands. And Micheal did it almost like instinctively. He actually knew what he was doing as he was doing it. Yeah?
Yes.
Everyone happy?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that even though a person opened the bidding, who opened the bidding?
West.
West.
We had a slam available to us, didn't we?
Yes.
Even though they opened the bidding, we had a slam available to us. And that can happen as well sometimes, that the fact that they've opened the bidding gives you the clue as to where all of
Points.
the cards are. Are we all happy?
Mm.
Okay, on to number 5, please, Jason.
Okay. So I have 4 points in spades, 7 in hearts is 11, and 6 in clubs is 17, and the 5 card suit. What strength no trump are we playing, Thomas, here?
You can play a weak no trump.
Weak no trump. I'm playing a weak no trump, I open a club. Now, 1 no trump here shows 15, 16. 2 no trump would generally show 17, 18. So I bid 2 no trump. And the 5 card suit, which is a useful holding to have. Yeah, I'm not sure what 4 no trump is. It's probably quantitative. Just asking me to bid 6 with a max, otherwise not to bid 6. But I like my 5 card club suit. I'll say yes to the slam as I'm an optimist, and I'd suggest to be playing clubs by bidding 6 clubs.
So if I had a fit in clubs, everybody, what could I do at this point? Are you all here?
Yes. Where are you?
What could I do as North if I had a fit in clubs?
11 clubs.
Pass.
I could pass, and if I don't have a fit in clubs, what do I go back to?
No trump.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm just giving a suggestion of clubs.
Does everybody see that?
Yes, yes. Now.
And I know he can't have 6 clubs because what did he rebid?
2 no trump.
No, he
I'd
must.
have rebid 3 clubs.
He'd rebid 3 clubs if he'd 6 clubs, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So 6 clubs is saying, Thomas, I'm accepting your quantitative raise, and I've got 5 clubs just in case you want to play this hand in.
Clubs.
Now, I don't have a fit in clubs, so what am I going to go back to?
No
No
trump.
trump.
I am indeed, and pray to God it's right.
6 no trump. Past that, I've had enough of this. Okay, so spade is led. And what tricks do we have? We've 1 on spades, 3 in hearts is 4, 2 in diamonds is 6, and 5 in clubs is 11.
Mm.
And where there's 11, there's 12, even if it's not obvious. It goes back to Thomas's ones. Where's the threats? Well, there's a threat in spades. It mightn't be much of a threat, but 9 to 4 spades means that somebody's got to keep spades. And there's a threat in diamonds. If the diamond suit breaks 3-3, I'd clearly make 3 diamond tricks to make 12 tricks. And even if they're 4-2, I may catch the person out between diamonds and spades. So what do we do in this?
What's your thoughts, everybody, while Micheal is thinking out the rest of the hand? What's your thoughts?
Well,
Yeah.
you've got
Drop
a
the
threat
first
in
spade.
diamonds.
Take all the tricks you have to take.
Yeah,
all
so what do we have to do to make the squeeze operational?
Rectify the points.
And
Now, how are we going to do that?
Duck the first spade.
Very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't duck the first spade, how do you rectify the count? Because if you win the spade, you can't duck a diamond, can you?
Yeah.
If you
No,
duck a diamond, you're going to give them a diamond, and what are they going to take?
the spade.
That's not clever, is it? I mean, I've seen people do that before. Oh, I ducked a diamond, rectifying the count, and they took the trick to put me down. So we have to work out what trick to rectify the count in, don't we? Now, is there any other line of play that could work on this hand other than a squeeze?
Well, if they hadn't led a spade, we would have been able to duck a diamond.
You'd be able to play for the diamonds to be 3-3, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
To be a small chance. But when they lead a spade, can we duck a diamond?
Nope.
No. So our only line of play, that's what I'm saying to you about a squeeze becomes a hit and hope, doesn't it? When there's nothing else left to hope for, what do we have to hope? That somebody's going to come under pressure. And if you don't recognize what cards you're threatening the opponents with and how to rectify the count, then the hand falls apart and you miss the opportunity. So let's go and see a grandmaster in action.
Well, ducking the spade is my best option. So now I have to make the rest of the tricks. Queen and the jack. That gives me some hope that hopefully the king and the 10 are in the west hand. Well, I'm just going to cash my tricks there.
The other thing we have to be careful, although it doesn't happen on this hand, sometimes you have to be careful to be able to keep cards, to be able to get backwards and forwards to the threats. Yeah. And a mistake people often make in squeezes is they cash the cards in the wrong order, and then they can't get back to the right hand at the right time. Did anybody see what way West played their spades, by the way? What was the value of their first spade, everybody?
5.
And what did they follow there?
low.
So they must have
5.
5 card suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what do I see there? The 10 of spades. They're beginning to struggle.
And when we play the last card, what happens to West?
Hopefully West is all the diamond pips.
And the king of spades.
Yeah, sure has a diamond or a spade.
Well, there's no point in hanging on to the spade any longer.
We definitely know the spade is a loser, don't we?
Yeah.
So there's no point. I mean, even if we don't know that we're operating a squeeze, we know we shouldn't keep the 9 of spades. Yeah.
It's just lucky the thing works out. It was very unlikely, but There's no other options.
And that's the key to, but for a squeeze to be operational, you need to do certain things at certain times. You need to recognize. Now, were we lucky on this hand? Extremely.
Yeah, we were overbidding.
We were extremely lucky on
Well,
that.
good.
Micheal, that wouldn't be the first or the last time, by the way. Right? But we were extremely lucky because the hand with the 5 spades also had the
4 diamonds.
Jack of diamonds.
if we moved the diamonds over to the other hand, there'd be no squeeze.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And had they not let a spade, we might have gone down on this hand, because what might have we have chosen to do if they didn't lead a spade?
You duck a diamond.
You might have chosen to duck a diamond rather than the squeeze. Yeah. Because ducking a diamond is a legitimate play, whereas a squeeze needs them to have certain things. But when they lead a spade, we've no choice but to play the hand this way. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All happy?
Yes.
Okay, number 6, please.
Okay, so we're playing weak no trump. So that looks like a weak no trump hand.
After the last glory, Micheal, look what I had to do.
Oh God! Thank goodness this would be straightforward. So we only have to make 7 tricks.
Easy. 1 no trump is easy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's not as high risk as 6 no trump. Hoping for squeezes.
Mm.
Okay, so they led the ace of diamonds well.
Okay.
Must have the king as well.
I was hoping they'd give me a check with the queen of diamonds, but they're too smart for that. Anyway, I'll play low on the spade. My jack will start growing up a little. Yeah, I fear neither the queen nor the 9 will win, but sure, we can but do our best. In 1 no trump, it doesn't matter that I'm losing tricks early on. Hopefully I'll make the later ones. Okay, so West has 5 diamonds and they've made a spade trick as 6. So this club better be right.
As Alex Ferguson would say, it's squeaky bum time.
Right, so if the club finesse is right and the heart finesse is right, I've got 7 tricks. But if one of them is wrong, possibly deep doodah. Anyway, we'll throw a little heart here. And we'll throw a little heart here as well. I don't need to make 4 hearts. I'd like to make 3 hearts without losing any. I'm keeping the 3 spades because the jack of spades could be useful.
And Micheal, sorry, you have to throw a spade on that.
I made a mess of this. Sorry.
Yeah, you have to throw a spade on that. Yeah.
I should have thrown a spade rather than the 7 of hearts. Isn't it dreadful? I made a mistake and then thought about it.
Well, you have to follow the advice you gave earlier on, don't you?
I know I should think about it before making a mistake. Very often you won't make the mistake if you think about it. Okay, so I've lost 6 tricks.
Can't afford to lose any more.
And we know West has 2 spades by the looks. He led the 9 the first time. And so that's the club, hopefully. So the 10 of spades. Now, there's one spade left in the east hand, a big spade, the king, I think.
Yeah,
So there can only be room for one heart left in the east hand. So we play a heart and we'll see what happens. Now, each has got the last card is the king of spades, so the last card is not the queen of hearts. So there's no point in finessing when there's no possibility that east has the queen of hearts. But there is a possibility that west is the queen of hearts and that it will fall under the king. So we hope for the best. And we will be.
Yeah.
So west always had only 2 hearts. But by postponing the heart finesse until the end, you realize that there was only room for 2 hearts in the west hand.
But if I give this hand to 100 tables, what does everybody do in the heart suit, bar none?
And they finesse.
Yeah. They finesse the jack of hearts.
Yeah.
And it can't cost to play out all of your cards before you make that decision, can it? And if you play out all of the cards, we have a look. East followed to 2 diamonds, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
We know they had the king and the queen of spades because on the lead of the 9 of spades, what spade did they win with?
They won
the
with
queen.
the queen.
Promising that they had the
king.
Because when we're following through, we follow to the lower of our touching cards, don't we?
Yeah.
So we know they've got the king and the queen of spades. They followed to the queen, and they followed to the 2 with the ace, and they threw away the 10. So they followed to 3 clubs, 2 diamonds. We know they 4 spades, and they threw away 2 hearts, 3 hearts, in fact, wasn't it? They had to throw away 3 hearts. And when they threw away 3 hearts, we now, and you lead the 9 of hearts and they follow with the 10, you have a complete count of the heart suit. And you don't need to make a losing finesse, knowing that the heart is going to come down. Now, what did we have to do at the start of that hand? Count
the losers.
Count.
And winners. Yeah.
Count, and count. What else did we have to hope at the start of the hand?
Well, you needed the club finesse, right?
Absolutely correct. Micheal said, "I'm not making this contract unless the club finesse is correct." And what way did he play it? For the club finesse to be correct, didn't he? Because he's not the type of player, no matter what contract he's in, he's not the type of player he'll play the cards so that they will be of benefit to him rather than of being negative to him. Yes. Knowing that if the king of clubs is in east, could he make the contract?
No.
Rory couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. Micheal couldn't make it. Tom Hanlon couldn't make it. Nobody in the world could make it if the king of clubs was in the east hand. Yeah. Now that was a 1-0 trump. Very low level contract, but absolutely crucial. Now, Micheal, a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Would you overcall the west hand?
No.
Okay, why not?
But I overcalled 1-0 trump.
Yeah.
It? No, I wouldn't.
Why not? I agree, by the way.
Why not? Well, you're probably giving the opponents more information than the benefit to your partner. Your distribution isn't that great, 5-4-2-2. I much prefer 5-4-3-1 distributions to 5-4-2-2. And secondly, your 2 suits are the minors, and there's if you've got a minor fit, the opponents probably have a major fit, so you get outbid anyway.
And if you bid the diamonds and they compete, they're likely to find the fit that they have. Whereas if you don't pass, if you'd a 6 to diamond, Micheal, would it change?
Well, the 6 diamond makes the likelihood of making a 2 diamond contract a lot better. So I quite possibly would do it with a 6 card suit.
And a 6 card suit might mean you might have a chance to run in 3-0 trump 9 tricks.
Yeah.
Would be another reason why a 6 card suit would be good to possibly bid it in this seat. Does that make sense to everybody?
Do you not have to bid with 6 points?
No,
No.
no, 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 not necessarily. We were talking about a 6-card suit. Okay, everybody happy with that hand?
Yeah, Thomas, the opening lead traditionally will be the 7 of clubs, 7 of diamonds. People now are changing to the ace from ace king 10, aren't they?
They can. It's not that they're changing, by the way. They're going back to what they used to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah,
they-
but if you lead the 7 of diamonds, what happens on that hand?
Well, the player wins with the queen.
And you've just given them the contract,
That's right, that's right.
haven't you?
But I thought the ace would be ace king queen or ace king jack.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. Again, different rules for different people. Some people play aces, show strong sequences. Some people play kings, show strong sequences. Some people play aces, show the weaker sequence. Certainly, if you were playing with an Italian, Michael, they would always lead the ace from that combination.
What about the 4th highest of your longest and strongest?
But that gives the contract, doesn't it? Do we
Oh,
want
on
to
this
give them-
occasion. But
But
it
do
also
we want
keeps,
to-
there are other
it does-
hands where it keeps communication.
Why do you not necessarily have to keep communication on this hand?
You have entries with the king of clubs.
Exactly. You might have entries with the king of clubs. That's one of the reasons why they lead the ace of diamonds. All right.
Yep.
Again, it's partnership agreement. Michael, what you're saying isn't wrong, and what I'm saying isn't right, or vice versa. It's just a question of what your style of your agreements are. Yeah. If you play strong honor sequences that one of them promises ace king queen or ace king jack or king queen 10 or king queen jack, then you can't lead that combination of cards. But we always want to make it as hard as we can for who?
The clearer.
Micheal particularly, yeah. Never make it easy for Micheal. He doesn't like it being easy. He likes it being difficult.
But just on this holding, a lot depends on what the contract is as well. That you might lead different holding against 1-0 trump to what you would lead against 3-0 trump. That against 3-0 trump, you may hope to make 4 diamonds and maybe a check in partner's hand. So I think there's a greater likelihood that you'd lead low against 3-0 trump than against 1-0 trump.
Is that fair enough, Michael?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, spot on.
Okay,
Can I
lovely
just
stuff.
ask a question?
Anything you're just going to ask any question at any stage you want.
Yeah, I know everybody understands. I don't understand. Why did Micheal go with the clubs rather than the hearts?
Because he needs the club possess. How many winners will he get in clubs if the club finesse is right?
3.
3.
Well, 2 extra ones, won't he?
2 extra, right?
How many
Yes.
winners might he only get in hearts if the heart finesse is right?
1.
So clubs is going to produce more tricks. That's why he played the clubs before he played the hearts.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
No trouble at all. Always ask questions if you want.
Even if Micheal got 4 tricks in hearts, he still would need a club, wouldn't he?
He
to
wouldn't.
make
I
it
think because he's only got 4 heart tricks, 1 club and 1
spade.
He always needs the club finesse to make the contract. Therefore, he plays the club before, because that lets him know whether the contract has a chance or not, doesn't it? Well spotted, Michael. Okay, are we all happy? Okay, we've 2 more hands, I think, Micheal.
Yeah,
So,
fine.
number 7, please.
Oh, well, we.
Oh. 17.
1 spade pass. What do we do? Oh, well, some people do.
Double.
Double, yeah.
Do you bid, Jason? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I better show where I live at this stage. Not a style what I did in my hand.
Oh, good.
Can I ask, does the double there not mean that you have the other major?
The double there means you either have a classic style takeout double,
Yeah.
okay, or you've a hand which is so strong that you're going to bid your suit. And as Micheal said, what did he say when he bid 3 clubs? I'm going to tell my partner where I
Yeah.
So when he bids 3 clubs, now I know he probably doesn't have hearts and he has a hand which is too good to overcall, But that's why he started off by doubling and then he bid his suit.
So,
Yeah.
so you don't know till the person has bid a second time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know what type of double it
Okay.
is. Is it an SOS double or is it a hand where he has a too good to overcall?
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be too strong to bid 3 clubs in that position. No 3 clubs over the 1 spade would be a good hand, but I have a very, very big hand here.
He's much stronger than that, isn't
Yeah,
he?
no, I see that you're very strong. I just thought in case it automatically meant you the other major.
But it's less so when the opponents are passed out
Yeah,
1 spade.
yeah.
But like,
And you give a little
not
lift,
so much
Micheal.
strong hand. I'm gonna bid 1 for the vote here.
Mhm.
One of the great things about Micheal, playing with Micheal, is you don't have to bid Michal's hand for him ever. Ever. You just have to bid your own hand, and he's more than capable of bidding his own hand.
I probably bid Thomas's hand as well as my own. Okay, we're in 5 clubs and we've a heart lead, or we'll follow suit. Actually, what losers do we have here? I should be looking at my losers. I've got 1 loser in hearts, and I've a loser in spades, and there's a finesse that's almost certainly wrong. So I have 3 losers there, and the minor suits are pretty solid. I've 7 club tricks and 3 diamond tricks is 10. So 7 and 3 is 10, and the ace of spades is 11. So it's 11. Seems to be 1 short as always, but what threats do I have as we're on the topic of squeezes? I clearly don't have any additional threats in clubs or diamonds. I have a small threat in hearts, and that I could ruff east so that they keep no hearts, and then the 4th heart might be a threat against west, and clearly the queen of spades is a threat against west. I'm assuming west has the king of spades. So anyway. Oh, dear. So we'll buff a few hearts to so that
Now, what did Micheal do in the clubs, by the way?
The 10.
He
To
played the
the-
'Cause they
10
could play
to the
1 up to
queen.
4.
And again, he just automatically did that with it almost. It was as if he wasn't even thinking about
I
it,
was
wasn't it?
wondering,
Well, it's about keeping. I need to
He
get
wants
to the
be able to
table a
lead
few
up
times.
again, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good technique.
Mm.
Do you see the
Okay,
point?
yeah.
What would most people do without thinking? They'd play the 2
The
to
lowest one.
the queen, and then
queen.
the 6 wouldn't be there to be able to get to the 4, would it?
No.
It's nice to play the 2 to the 4, isn't it?
Showing off, that's what it is.
I will. Now we'll need to. This is just, I have a loser there, so I'm rectifying the count by playing.
No,
this
no, no.
way.
Hold on, Micheal. Undo.
You're not
You've
in
lost the
5,
trick.
Micheal.
You've lost a trick, Micheal.
You're in
Undo.
6.
Oh, sorry, I've lost the trick. My apologies. My apologies. I'm asleep.
Yeah, rough a heart and player trump.
I should just I'm rectifying the count when I've already lost as many tricks as I could possibly lose. Have you been watching the cards closely here in spades and hearts?
Mhm.
It should kill him fundamentally, yes.
Because we know West's last card has to be the
Horse.
King of.
King of Hearts.
Interesting, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Now, when you look at that start, when you look at that hand at the start, it should be like there's no possible way we can make
6 clubs.
6 clubs. No possible way. I mean, no possible way. But there is, you have to be the type of declarer who has the ability that comes up with the possible way of making it. What did we need for this to happen? How many hearts did we need West to have?
5.
We need them to have 5, so we
Correct.
need East to have at most 3.
Because if East has 4 hearts, then West is always going to be able to let go of their hearts, aren't they? Now, the bidding, by the way, the fact that West opened 1 spade and then over a partner who passed voluntarily bid 2 hearts, it's not a stretch to think that they might be 5-5, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Particularly when you know that they don't have very many
Points.
points. Okay, is that fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing that Micheal did was absolutely crucial, and he wouldn't have been able to make this contract had he not won the second club by playing the Jack 10 or 9 and beating himself with the
Queen.
to keep the 2 in the, and also when he roughed the heart earlier on, what did he rough with?
9.
He roughed with a high heart, didn't he? He kept that 2 to get to that 4, almost as if it was careless. He didn't almost as if it looked as if he didn't even know what he was doing, did it? However, he very much did know what he was doing. Because if he doesn't have that extra entry, he can't rough the 3rd heart. And it's roughing the 3rd heart that creates the pressure on West, isn't it? Okay, everybody happy?
Yeah.
Any questions on that hand? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the last hand, Micheal.
Okay. Okay, I have a 16 count. 5, 4, 3, 1 distribution. Well, that's straightforward. 1 heart. One spade. Now, it's not a style here. I can either raise the spades or bid the diamonds. Kind of what is normal is to bid the diamonds first of all and see what happens. Oh, partner shows nice hand with hearts, 3 hearts. Am I expected to bid a slam on this? I don't think it's worth a slam.
So then he just goes to
4 hearts.
very good.
Four hearts. Oh, West is thinking is what to lead. Okay. No, we've got 2 spade losers. We've no heart losers. We've no diamond loser because we can muff a diamond, and we've got no club losers. So that gives us 5 heart tricks, 3 diamond tricks is 8, diamond muff 9, ace of spades 10, and ace of clubs 11. But can I make 12 is the question. You have to do something with your spades. Where's my threat? I've got 10 tricks on top, and roughing a diamond is my 11th. As I'm in 4, I'm just going to pull trumps and make my top 6.
God bless you, Deirdre.
Excuse me.
I'm sure this isn't the way you want me to play it, Thomas, but
Oh, no. This isn't about a play of the hand.
Am I supposed to leave something different? I think maybe.
No. Go on.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This isn't about a play.
what's it about, Dan?
You'll see at the end. I'm going to ask everybody a question. This is just a Brucey bonus hand. Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question, okay? Look at Micheal's hand, right? Over 1 heart, I bid 1 spade. What did Micheal respond with?
2
2
diamonds.
diamonds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, would you have responded with 2 diamonds?
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
It shows shape.
Well, it shows 5 hearts and 4 diamonds, but what's
Yeah.
the range of points it shows?
Oh, yeah. It's sort of 15 down.
Well, you see, Micheal has 16, hasn't he? That's why I'm asking the question.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
And the singleton.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, a change of suit is always forcing for 1 round, isn't it?
Not after 1/1.
No, not
no.
after, not 2 diamonds isn't forcing.
Had I bid 2 clubs, had I changed the suit at the 2nd level, it would be forcing, but not after a 1/1. Well, if you think about it, can you redeal this hand for me, Jason, please?
Yeah.
We have
It'll
it.
take me a bit because I have to change the.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
no problem. So most people with the north hand, when I give them this hand, what do they rebid on their 2nd bid? Just give it 1 second, Micheal. Just take him a second to get back to the board. Most people on the north-south hand with Micheal's hand at the rebid, what do they rebid, do you think?
2 spades.
Or 3
Diamonds.
3
2 diamonds.
diamonds. Yeah.
They're not worth it.
You're definitely not worth it. That's why I wanted to go through this hand with people, just to show you. A rebid at the 2 level, in actual fact, by opener, could be up to 16 or a very unusual 17 count hand. A jump rebid to a new suit at the 3 level in a minor is game forcing. And unfortunately, North isn't the game forcing hand, is it?
No.
So when the bidding goes 1 heart, pass.
1 spade.
Will you open 1 heart, Micheal?
Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
You're okay.
Well, the other benefit of bidding 2 diamonds is the bidding isn't always ending there. That you can follow up with, say, partner raises the diamonds from 2 to 3. You can bid 3 spades at that stage, and it's clear that you've extra values on 3 spades.
So let's show you exactly what we're talking about. Make your rebid there, Micheal.
So I'm bidding 2 diamonds.
So if I decided, if I had a fit in diamonds, what could I bid over 2 diamonds?
3 diamond if you had 4 of them.
Yeah, I could support the diamonds, couldn't I? And that doesn't mean the auction is
Finished.
Is finished. Now, I wouldn't bid 3 diamonds on this hand, folks, right? I'm just showing you what might happen if I do bid 3 diamonds. Okay. So what else might I bid over 2 diamonds?
Might bid 2 hearts.
I might actually show
Heart
that
comes good.
I might have support for hearts. I might not be heart, but I might have support for hearts. And if I bid 2 hearts, well, that doesn't end the
Auction.
either.
Yeah,
What might
okay,
Micheal
well,
do over that?
Okay. I'm going to follow with 2 spades.
Now I know he has 5 hearts, 4 diamonds, and
3 spades.
I know he can't have 12 points, because if he 12 points, what would he have done?
You would rebid hearts.
And if I had 9 points and 3 hearts, or if I had 5 spades and I could bid spades, or I could bid hearts, or I could pass, or you see what I mean? The 2 diamond bid with 16 or 17 points doesn't stop the auction, does it?
No.
And if
Oh,
it does
no.
stop the auction, it's probably the right place to play, isn't it? Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody?
But you did say it's not forcing.
2 diamonds is not forcing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
The question asks that you're probably, it's the right contract.
It's the right place to play, isn't it?
So then it's up to North. So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now undo for me, Jason, please. Now, let's say I had 5 or 6 spades and a weakish sort of hand. What would I bid over 2 diamonds, maybe?
2 spades.
And again, does that have to end the auction?
No.
What
No,
might my partner decide to do over that?
support the spades.
Spades.
Exactly. Now he knows I've got a long suit of spades on
Uh-huh.
my own. I have a minimum hand, and look, he didn't even pass he didn't even put me under pressure by bidding what?
3.
3 spades.
Suddenly now his 16-point hand isn't 16 points anymore. Why?
Because you have a
It's the
fit.
singleton club.
Okay.
The singleton club adds value to the hand. And I mean, I might have a hand where I have a singleton heart. If I have a singleton heart and the ace of clubs and 5, 6 little spades, isn't 4 spades an absolute great contract?
Mhm.
If I have king, queen to 5 spades and a doubleton heart, isn't 4 spades an absolutely brilliant contract, even if I've no values in clubs? Because what are your spades going to be able to do?
They can off the clubs.
Rough the
Yes.
clubs.
Rough-
Does that
rough
make
the
sense to
clubs.
everybody?
Mhm.
Now, that was just a final little point I wanted to get across, because when I use these hands in my lessons, most people with the south hand jump to 3 diamonds, which and now Micheal likes to overbid a little bit sometimes, but that is a gross overbid, isn't it, Micheal?
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
It's not
But-
worth it. You'd nearly need to have another king in your hand or another queen in your hand to be considering bidding.
Yeah, if you had 5 diamonds and 2 spades and the queen of diamonds also.
You'd have enough to be bidding 3
You'd have enough,
diamonds.
yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have enough other than that. Now, is there anything in the play of the hand? How many tricks can we make on this hand if we want to try to make an extra trick, and what's the risk attached to it?
But there are risks.
Yeah, but what are they?
Well, the risk of trying to make more is you don't pull trumps and the opponent's rough a diamond
Get
on
in
you.
and rough, yeah.
Now, in teams, what would you do?
Make your
Make your
contract.
contract.
Exactly what Micheal did.
Absolutely. But in match pointed pairs, what would you do?
Sorry for the diamond.
Rough a diamond.
You'd look to rough a diamond, because the risk of the rough, as opposed to them following the suit, by the way, it's only bad if diamonds are 6-1.
Yeah.
If they're 5-2, you can actually rough the 3rd diamond with the
King.
king of hearts, can't you? And you can cope with a 4-1 break even. Okay. So, and again, that's the difference between playing what?
Teams and
Pairs.
Teams and pairs. Micheal, when you're playing bridge, we would nearly always be thinking in terms of teams first. And it's only then do you start thinking about match pointed pairs after. And in fact, doesn't Padraig really doesn't like playing match pointed pairs, Micheal?
Yeah, he doesn't. We don't play together other than in teams competitions.
In teams competitions, because match pointed pairs is like, it's brutal, isn't it?
Well, everything is a decision, and an overchecking 2 diamonds could cost a lot. While
Okay.
in teams competitions, bid and make your games, and life will be fine.
Absolutely. Now, do we have any questions for anybody?
So the diamonds, should you play the queen first, then the ace, and then rough the third round of diamonds before playing the king?
I'd play one heart to make sure that the trumps aren't 5-0. Right, and then I'd play the queen of diamonds, a diamond to the king, and I'd rough a diamond with the queen of heart.
Yeah.
In match pointed pairs. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Now that's it for this week, folks. I hope you enjoyed those hands. I'd like to thank Micheal for coming in today. It was an absolute pleasure to sit opposite him. And I hope you got some value from those hands. So what we'll send you in notes is we'll send you some Roman keycard notes. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll send you, I have a couple of notes. It'll be late next week before I get them because they're over in the office. They're not on my home computer. But I have some basic notes on squeeze play, which I'll send to you as well. And they have a couple of the hands that we've done in them as well, that you can deal them out and have a look at them. And it really is a question of you trying to put into practice. You know, it is so interesting to see the likes of Micheal almost instinctively play that club to keep the entry, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he did an absolute excellent job of explaining his thought processes as he was starting at the start of the hand. And I'd like to thank you, Micheal. It was an absolute pleasure sitting up.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
So everybody, we're going to, this is going to be recorded. If you're watching it on the recording, please like and subscribe in our YouTube channel.
And share, like, share and subscribe.
Share, yes, absolutely, share.
Like, share and subscribe.
And our thanks to, sorry, I'm being invaded by a
Hi, Isabel.
Hello, Isabel.
This is my sixth. This is Isabel. And listen, special thanks to Thomas and Jason as well, and all the Grandmaster team for putting this together. Micheal, thank you so much. I always love listening to you. You have a great role, sense of humor, and a lovely way of showing how you play. And we're very grateful to your advice and support here. So from all of us,
I enjoyed myself.
Thank you very much.
And if you enjoyed it, tell your friends. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, tell your friends.
And we're going to have another. We'll be having another one of these. I'll let you know. And
there'll be one more before Christmas, and then they'll be back after Christmas.
Exactly.
Super.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Thank
All
you.
right,
everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.